Okay, there we are. Good, very good. Excellent. Hi, Hector. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I was going to make this into a video and just post it, but I thought I'd do something a little different. But I hope you're doing well. Hope the weather's nice where you are. It was 70 degrees here today, which I will certainly take. But like I said, I haven't streamed in a while. Work's been crazy and all that, but I thought I'd get back into doing this, especially using OBS, which I haven't used to stream within ages. So this stream is going to be different for me topic wise. It's not about coins, it's about something else that I used to collect. And actually, you're looking at it right there. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, when I was much younger, I collected Dungeons and Dragons lead figures. Yeah, I did. I was never really into playing the game itself, but I seem to remember I didn't have the patience for the game, but I did collect the figures that were part of the system. So, if you probably know about Dungeons and Dragons, where you take on the role of a warrior, or a magic user, or a fighter, or something like that, and you get together with other characters and you explore something like a dungeon or a ruined castle or a forest or a cave, and you collect treasure and slay monsters and complete quests, that sort of thing. But as an option, the game allowed players to use figures like this to represent the characters and the monsters that they encountered in the adventures. So if your characters in the game encountered something like an ogre or a dragon, you could visualize where the adventures were in relation to the monsters. But there were a lot of these figures that were produced back in the day. The game was pretty popular, and I guess these figures were a decent moneymaker back in the day for Grenadier, which is the company that made them. And each box had a certain type of theme. Hey, Oz, how are you? The company, Grenadier, produced small boxes, small sets of lead figures. This is an example of one of the smaller sets, and they produced larger boxes of these figures. So this is the first box set in the Grenadier series. The number says 2001, but that's just the catalog number for the set. So 2001 was the number for the first small box set, the wizard set, and then there was a set with a catalog number 2002. That was for the halflings and so on. And yeah, being the geek that I was back then, it looks like I collected all of the boxed sets, the large ones and the small ones, as well as some of the special sets that this company, Grenadier, produced. Now, a couple of these sets I know I got at a yard sale about 25 years ago, but the overwhelming majority of these I got at the local hobby store in the city where I grew up, and I just held on to them for all these years. They were stored in my cellar. So I thought today for a stream it would kind of be funny just to look at these small box sets of lead figures. I think there were 14 box sets that were produced by Grenadier, and this is one is the wizard set. It's the first one in the series. I do know I put some thin foam padding in some of these boxes about 10 years ago when we moved to our new house, just to protect the figures in transit, because they're pretty fragile. They're made of lead, and of course, lead's a soft metal. It didn't take much to snap some of the parts off the figures if they were dropped or if the box was jostled around. But apart from that, I really haven't taken a good look at these in 40 years. So I thought I'd take kind of a stroll down memory lane and look at these figures. And I don't know, hopefully you'll find them interesting too. As I mentioned earlier, they were made of lead. The lead was it would be poured into molds, and the extra bits of lead were trimmed off each figure by hand. And then they were packaged, so it was a pretty basic manufacturing process. And they were made in the US back in the day, I think, which is really kind of interesting. But yeah, so it says right on the paperwork that these are intended for children over the age of 10, or not for under the age of 10. Yeah, this product's not intended for use by children under 10 years of age. So I just made the cut, I think. Sort of close. You can still buy figures like these today if somebody's does that kind of gaming. But if you buy them today, they're going to be plastic, or they're going to be pewter. They're not going to be lead. But yeah, these are the old school ones. These are made of lead, and these are in reasonably good condition, I think. It's and the artwork on the covers is funny too. I think it's definitely kind of old school. But anyway, let's take a look and see what's in these. So this is the first set. Like I said, it's 2001 Wizards, and yeah, let me do it this way. You can put that there so you can still kind of look at it if you want. So, oh, I could show you this. So, this is what was in the box. So that's really what you would be looking at when you open the set. So it came with this paperwork that explained what's in the set, and this is the the thin piece of foam that I put in there. Like I said, just when we moved, just to protect them, I put the foam underneath the paperwork. So yeah, that's what you get. Let's take a look to see what these are. All right, that's the first one. Hector says that game is 1 year older than my marriage. Wow. I was like 9 years old when I started collecting these, and I only collected them for about a year or two. Actually, here's an example of, I think it's called a sprue right here. Yeah. All these years it's been there. So it's just a little piece of lead that when it was manufactured would have been trimmed off in the process, but they never did. So I seem to remember there are quite a few pieces that would come like that. But this is, let's see, this is an illusionist, okay. It has a little pot there. There's smoke coming out, a little brazier, holding a staff of some sort. You know, for 1979, 1980, this is a... detail's pretty good. Actually, you can tell I didn't really play the game because... I don't know if you can see that. See at the bottom it has that extra bit of lead on there? So if you stood it up, it would be really wobbly. Well, actually, you can stand that one up. Now, a lot of people got these and painted them. I am not an artist, so I did not paint these. All right, that's the illusionist. The next one, here I can do that. You can see what I'm seeing. So the next one is a druid. All right. Kind of a Gandalf-looking character with a sword and a shield and a robe. Some kind of pouch right there. And, of course, they have to have the pointed hat. So that is the druid. Actually, you know what? It's going to be easier for me to read it if I put this here. I'll tell you what, I'll put that there. All right, so the next one in the box it's called a cleric, which is interesting because the cleric has a snake next to him, a cobra next to him. And he's in his robes. You know what? Let me zoom in on this. Kind of looks like Pope John Paul II. I'm sure that was unintentional. Focus back on that. There we go. So yeah, that's a cleric. Why this cleric would have a cobra next to him, I do not know. The flowing robes. Oh, that's too funny. And yeah, you can see the little bit of lead there. All these little bits and pieces that normally would have been trimmed off. All right, here's the next one, D. This is... Sorry, let me focus that again. There we go. This is D. D is simply called a magician. Okay, with a pointed hat and the stars. And the staff with a little club, with the little skull on the top of it. Yeah, there too is another little piece of lead. Another piece there. Gee. You know, I probably did buy these and just kept them in the box. I didn't really do much with them. All right, this is a druid with a dart. Okay. There's his dart. Yeah, I think the detail's pretty impressive. Here's that focused. I think it is. So that's a druid with a dart. Okay. And we have... It's probably my favorite one here. This is F. This is an enchanter. Just a crooked stick. I didn't check. Do they all have beards? They all seem to have pointed hats. So that's the enchanter. All right. Then we have G. This is a warlock. Oh, he has the beard. He doesn't have the pointed hat. And he has some kind of staff with a skull on it. Yeah, see there too. There's a little piece of lead. So it's funny. I probably just took the plastic off of these because the box came wrapped in clear plastic. I probably just took the plastic off of these and I just looked at them or something. I didn't really do much with them. It's just funny. It's going down memory lane. And this character, H, is just called a wizard, holding some sort of scroll. Looks like his hand is up to cast a spell, or maybe to smack somebody. I don't know. He's got all his little paraphernalia. Oh, look, he has a little familiar with him. I don't know what that is. You can even see there are runes written on the scroll. Oh, it's funny. That is too funny. Hector, I think you and I we're in the same ballpark. Now this is funny. This isn't in... Oh, I see what this is. Okay, never mind. Oh, this one's probably my favorite one. This is a sorcerer, again with a hat, pointed hat, looking at some sort of crystal ball. The flowing robes, the flowing beard. That's funny. With a globe, I don't know if it's a globe or it doesn't say what he's holding, but I'm gonna guess it's a crystal ball or something like that. Big chunk there. Yeah, you can't really see it. I don't know if I can focus on that. Let's see if I can get there. Yeah, on some of these, in the molds, they would take a scribe or something, and they would just write on there when these were made. So if I looked carefully, I'm sure we'd see the date. But these are from 1980, so it would have the company name, and then it would have the date. Anyway, with this one, were these two little things, a hand and like a lion's head. But that's because they went with this one. A lot of these figures came in more than one part. So, all right, this one. There we are. This is called an Archmage with spell, and there's an asterisk next to the description. It says denotes assembly. So what you do is, so you have this character holding a skull, and there's all sorts of fog or some sort of mist coming off whatever spell. Oh, there's another little brazier down there. And here, this little hole, you would crazy glue either this, these fit in kind of like a key. So either that, gosh, I don't know what that is, like that monster's head, or this is one I liked. Yeah, so it looks like a hand is coming out of the spell. And And again, yeah, you can see the little bits of lead that I didn't. Well, they didn't take off in the factory, and I didn't bother taking off. So yeah, some of these you'd have to glue together, or if you were unlucky enough and you bought a set and they were maybe a piece was broken, you'd have to crazy glue it on or something like that. But I never bother doing that. Interesting. Ah, too funny. All right. So anyway, that is the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Wizard set. Okay, so that's 2001. 2002 is this one. And this is the Halfling, so these are like the hobbits. So let's take a look and see what's in here. Oh yeah, okay, so there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there are usually 10 figures in each set, but this one only had 9. I think it only had 9 because you had one figure that was bigger than the others, and it kind of counted as 2 figures. So that's what they look like. So yeah, you can see where normally, we'll take this out. Normally there'd be 2 spaces there, but there was only 1 because this is such a big figure. All right, that kind of makes sense. So there are the halflings. So what do we have first? So this guy is the first one. Yeah, these don't. Well, I mean, they're. I was about to say I don't think the detail on these looks as good as the wizards, but I take that back. The detail's not too bad. I mean, for 1980, for a poured lead figure. This is an archer. So there are 2 in the game. So this would have been a halfling. So if let me go back and get the other set. So these wizards were probably, supposed to represent basic humans. So they were kind of made to scale. So yeah, I guess in a way they didn't use as much lead for this set, so they probably should have given you 10 figures, but well, they did what they did. So this is the archer. And the next one in the set is called an Axeman. I guess that makes sense. As he's carrying an axe, or she, I'm going to guess it's a he. You can even see detail on the axe head. Yeah, so you can tell, like right here, this happened a lot with these figures. Oops. Where's my toothpick? Right there where the legs are, some of the lead poured out, so you would just kind of poke that away if you were really serious about the figures, and if you were really serious about painting them, you'd want to make it look proper. So yeah, that's the Axeman. What is this one? It's a little guy. This is a thief, a halfling thief. Okay. He has a sword. They're all barefooted, I think. Yeah. Yeah, no, the details in these are pretty good for tiny ones. I mean, you can see all the features in his face. And yeah, here's an example of why you have to be careful with these, because a lot of times you would get figures like this, because this part is his sword, and even his arm is sticking out like that. A lot of times those would snap off, especially like the sword right there would break off, because that's it's a thin piece of lead. So you have to be careful with these. Anyway, this is D. So this is called a swordsman. Makes sense. It's chainmail. Wearing a cloak. I don't know what the benefit would have been playing the game to being a halfling. Maybe because you're so small you could hide more easily, or maybe you could do things in the game that other characters couldn't do. I do seem to recall there was something along those lines. This is funny. This is called... Oh, this is actually out of order. This is called a lookout. So there are two characters, one on top of the other, one standing on the shoulders of the other, and they have a long spear. Here's another example of something that would snap off. So like that piece there, the spearhead would snap off. In fact, there's a little bit of lead right there. Extra piece of lead there. There was some creativity put into these, definitely. There you go. All right. It's called Lookout. Oh, I know why these are out of order, because of the bigger piece. All right, so the next one would be this one, which is called a... They call it a spear chucker. So it has a spear on... He's about to hurl it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, the detail is pretty impressive. There's a little, there's a little dagger or something there in the pouch, and the strap going up to his shoulder. You can even see the detail in the hair. So we'll call him a spear thrower. All right, or a spearman. All right, so what is next? All right, the next one is F. That's this one. And it is, I can't tell if it's a male or female. I think it's a male. And this is called a Lancer on Pack Mule. Oh, okay, I get it. So there's his lance right there. On a pack mule. Well, that makes sense. Oh, these just crack me up. All right, so that is the Lancer with a pack mule. What do we have next? G is this one. And this is called a lookout. All right, he's standing by a tree, or by a snapped tree. And has a bow. Kind of hard to see, but I guess that would be, if you were a lookout, that would be part of the point. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, is it lookout? And the last one is this. And according to the paperwork, this is called... Oh, no, I'm sorry. This one. Okay, I got these mixed up. This one, G, is called a camp guard. The lookouts were those two. Yeah, I just said that. I couldn't. How could I forget? And this one is the last one in the series. And this is called a slinger. So it's a halfling with a sling. With a very tiny shield. But I suppose if you're a tiny character, you only need a tiny shield. All right, so that is the halfling set. All right, let's see what is next. That was 2002. 2003 is the Dwarves. We won't go through all these. I have, like I said, I have all 14 of these sets, but I don't think I'll be doing. Hey, Clinton, how are you? Great to see you. So this is set 2003. This is the Dwarves set. And again, the paperwork and the foam. Oh, there's some doubles in here. I must have had 2 of these, or I know some of the bigger sets had characters from the smaller sets. So if you bought a set like this, and then you bought one of the bigger sets, they would have the same characters in it. So maybe I doubled up some of these along the way. Couldn't tell you why I have more than one. Let's see what's in the Dwarves set. All right, so the first thing, I have 2 of these. Oh, see, this one's painted. Wow, that's funny. As a kid, I did not paint any of these figures. So I wonder if I traded with somebody or somebody just gave these to me? Because it doesn't look like it's very well painted, and its paint is pretty much coming off. Anyway, that would kind of explain it. If this was my set, that's what they would have looked like. Because like I said, I had no artistic skills as a child. So this is a dwarf with a battle axe. No, they're lead. These are from 1980. I collected these when I was much, much, much younger. And this is back when they could make things out of lead, and they had a warning on the box, and they had a warning on the paperwork that came with the box to just be careful not to sell them if you're, or not to purchase these if you're a child under the age of 10, but I can't imagine they were really that strict about it. Oh, this is a dwarf with a battle axe, okay. See, I don't know. I'm thinking if you're going off chasing a dragon, I think I'd want more than a battle axe. He just seems to have his battle axe and nothing more. Don't lick your fingers. exactly. In all seriousness, I will wash my hands after. This next one, B. This is a shieldsman. Oh, no, these are out of order. Hold on, I'm sorry. I got these out of order. This one is, or maybe it is right. That one. Because like I said, I have doubles in here. Yeah, no, this is the correct one. I'm sorry. In the picture, it looked like it was holding a sword, but the character's holding just a spear. See, this guy, or this gal at least, looks like he or she's ready for battle. Has armor, has a shield, has a spear, has a helmet. Funny. All right. So, figure 3, this is C. This is a cleric. Look at that, a Christian dwarf. Oh, see, that one's painted too. Wow. Now, this is a mystery then. I don't know why. I know, like I think I said in my introduction, like 25 years ago, I bought a couple of these sets that I didn't have at a yard sale. And one of those is painted, but they're really painted well. I don't think I would have even been brave enough to paint these. I must have like traded these with somebody, or I don't know what. Hey, Sandy. I didn't. Yeah, exactly. Well, they were mine. I don't think my parents really would have cared. All right, the next one is AD. This is a swordsman. See, this one's nice and clean. Yeah, maybe I broke one. I don't know. I'm trying to think back 40 years from now. Hi, Sandy. What's Sandy? Oh, time. Jeez, Sandy, I gotta get the old glasses on. Time to mess with Mr. Cheeky Pants. I didn't get grief? What grief would I give you, Sandy? So this is a swordsman, but fire away, Sandy. See, this one has some pretty good detail too. Look at the detail on the shield. You can even see, oh, that's funny. You can even see the wood graining on the shield. And it has a dagger or something. Gosh. I'm going to have to do some research and figure out how much these sets cost, because I am thinking I spent my money on these as a kid and I just kept them in the box. Oh, this one, this is E. This is a dwarf with war sword. Say that 10 times fast. That's like, looks like a double-handed sword. What is that? Must be some sort of horn. With with the obligatory floppy hat, because it's a dwarf, right? I think they were trying to channel Disney and I don't know what else. All right, dwarf with a war sword. Oh hell, what's that behind you, Rivendell? I don't know what you're referring to, Sandy. The bookcase? The maps? This is... Oh, see, look at this one's painted too. Maybe, okay, I don't know. Oh, aha, see, wait a minute. I have one that's not painted. I must have like found somebody who was getting rid of theirs, and anyway, here we'll look at the painted one. This is called Crossbow Team, and this had a little star next to it, so I think this top part had to be, yeah, it would have to be glued in. So there are two, the crossbow's so big, two dwarfs have to hold it. They have a shield in front of them. Clinton, I do not. That sounds like an opening line for a joke. Do you know how to? Does Sandy know how to? Very good, Clinton. I'm surprised Sandy let you get away with that one. Here's the next one. And G. This is a spearman. Didn't we already see a spearman? No, I guess that was the other set. And then we have H. This is an archer. Is that? No, I guess not. Not a lot of detail on that one. Well, I take it back, actually. You can even see the arrows and the quiver. You can see the bow, the hat. It looks like right there some extra lead that should have been trimmed off along the hat. All right, guys. Hey, enjoy your dinner. I'll be on for a little while. I guess I'm just going to go through these, take a walk down memory lane. And this is Dwarf with Battle Hammer. Yeah, I'm not going to be here much longer. This was really... I haven't streamed in a while, and I really wanted to look at getting OBS up and running, because I haven't used OBS in like a year. And I know there have been updates, so I wanted to just make sure everything worked. Because OBS is enjoyable to use. If you want to do a panel type of discussion, then StreamYard, I think, is the way to go. But if you're just doing something like this, OBS works really well. The expression on his face. That's a dwarf with a warhammer. And the last one is this guy. I have two of those too. And that is J. That's a master merchant. I'll take a look at this one. Pot-bellied merchant. All right, enjoy your dinner. Thanks for stopping by. Too funny. All right, so that is a merchant. So that rounds out the dwarves. How are we doing for time? All right, we're going to maybe look at one more box. So that's the dwarves, set 2003. And what is next? 2004. Well, maybe we'll look at two more. So that's 2003. This is 2004. This box actually looks like it's probably was dropped. It's kind of ripped there. And these are called Hirelings. So the idea in the game is that you and your party, if I remember correctly, could hire people who did specialized sorts of things. So if your character's, gosh, I don't know, if you needed somebody who was really good at maybe picking locks, or was really good at making maps, or really good at whatever, you could hire somebody special to do it for a certain price. If you and your team had your character and your team had the money to do that, I guess. So this is 2004 Hirelings. And oh, well, here's an example of where there are 10 figures, but there's one big one in there. It's really faded too. Let's take a look and see what's here. So that's the set Hirelings. All right. I'm probably taking too long to look at the details. I apologize, but like I said, these are kind of bringing back memories. No, these are from 1980, Lynn. So this is a pack bear. So I guess that's somebody you'd hire to haul your stuff, like a Sherpa. And that's called a hireling with a lantern. I don't know why you'd have to hire somebody to carry a lantern for you, but there you are. Kind of cool looking. All right. This is a hireling with a coin chest. Yeah, that's a set number. So this is set number, really number 4. And 2000 is the catalog number for the smaller sets, and the bigger sets, I think, began with 5,000. So you had 5,001, 5,002. So this is the fourth set in the series. And this, yeah, so this is, I guess this would just be somebody you'd hire to carry your chest of gold or whatever would be in there. Yeah, it's a big piece of lead there, so yes, it doesn't even stand up. And is that the same guy? No, it's different. D. This is a hireling with a jewel box. Okay. Yeah, these all look so kind of like Shakespearean. Yeah, look at the puffy shoulders. All right, let's see. This is an hireling potion drinker. Again, I don't know why you'd have to hire somebody in the game to drink a potion for you, but maybe he would drink a potion and then I'd be able to do something to help you get somewhere or something. that's a big one. F. This is hireling chest carriers. So that must have been it. You must have had to hire people to carry your treasure back. That's kind of lazy, isn't it? Well, I suppose if you had a lot of treasure, if you were lucky, you wouldn't want to just leave it there. Yeah, Hector, you're not that old. Too funny. All right. This is okay. This is a halfling with a torch. Torch is as big as he is. But that's an example of where in the halfling set, I don't think there was that character. So sometimes they did. You would have the same characters in different sets, but not this one. This is H. This is spiking. I don't know why you'd need to spike something. Maybe a door to hold it open? Yeah, they've lasted all these years. And this one is H. Oh no, this is... Oh, no, it's out of order. I apologize. This is I. This is... oh, this is a hireling carrying a body. I guess that could be useful if your character died in the game and you wanted a decent burial. Alright, so this is why I got a little confused, because this one was in here too. But it's not listed on the paperwork. So I don't know what this one is. Maybe it's from a different set. Looks like it was painted at one point. So we'll call this another one of these. Let's call it this guy's partner. This guy's partner in crime. Another lantern bearer. Interesting. All right. So that was the hireling set. All right, so do one more set. Because I've been on for quite a while. And this is set 2005, The Fighting Men. Paperwork. All right, so this character is called an Axeman. Pretty cool looking shield. I guess if the axe were that size, it could do some damage. Now, yes, okay. So at first I thought this piece was broken. I thought maybe this character was missing a leg, but it's not. So when this was poured, and they took it out of the mold, because they would have, the mold would have been upside down. They pour the lead in there and they separate the mold. There would have been a piece of lead between here and here, just connecting where the shield is, where it would have been poured down in the mold, and then they clipped it at, well, either I clipped it or they clipped it at the factory. Something big like that, they probably clipped at the factory. But it's kind of interesting to think of how these are made. Decent detail. Okay, that's the Axeman. This, not surprising, is another archer. And this one is the next. It's called Kicking Warrior. All right, I don't know what he would be kicking. Maybe like kicking open a door or something. Wow. Here is one that I'm shocked isn't bent or broken. Because, yeah, that's a perfect example. In fact, I wonder if it looks like it is broken there and I glued it. I don't know. I don't think it is. But this is a good example of how you'd sometimes buy these and this whole piece would be snapped off just between the time it was packaged and the time you got it. This is D, a halberdier. So this long poled axe is called a halberd. Halberd, not halberd, halberd. Which I suppose if you were on a field or in a forest would be okay, but you wouldn't want to be down in a cave with something that big. I think it would kind of get in the way. I don't know. This is a crossbow man. Oh gosh, there's another one. This is called F, poleaxe. It's kind of funny how some of the lead is dark, some of it's still really shiny. But yeah, I can certainly see that piece cracking off. Put that one back nimbly. All right, G. This is called a charging swordsman. A little bit of paint on that one. Interesting design on the shield. Tree. H is called a great swordsman, or with great sword. Yeah, I can see how that's kind of bent. Nice detail. All right, almost done. I. Oh, look at this one. Okay. This is called a spearman, and there's a perfect example how it just bent. And it's about to crack off. So I'm going to leave it like this, but back in the day, yeah, you'd want to bend that piece back, and it would, I'm sure it would snap off and just glue it back on. Yep, sorry, buddy, your spear is no longer functional. But you have a sword, at least. And the last one is this guy. And this is Warrior with Battle Axe. Kind of looks like a Viking. Pretty chunky axe. But yeah, I'm amazed at the detail that they put into these characters. Just seeing them after all these years. Yes, it's another one that, oh, it does stand up barely. Has these extra pieces at the bottom to be filed down. But yeah, it's kind of amazing that after all these years, they still look so shiny. And yeah, after touching those, I'm definitely going to wash my hands. But anyway, that was just a little trip down memory lane. I have some more of these. Maybe I'll do another one of these a little bit later. But if I do another video like this, I'll probably just create the video and post it. But I really wanted to do this because I wanted to try OBS, and OBS I think worked fine. So that's great. Thanks everybody for watching, and I am going to stop streaming. Hopefully you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you sometime soon.